Empowering young women in tech, navigating the path to success. Unlock the door to the world of technology and join us for an engaging webinar that sheds light on the journey of young women breaking into the tech industry. Explore their experiences, challenges, and triumphs as they carve their way into this dynamic field. In a world driven by technology, the representation of women in the tech industry is more crucial than ever. The webinar Empowering Young Women in Tech, Navigating the Path to Success is an illuminating exploration of the journey undertaken by young women as they step boldly into the dynamic realm of technology. This engaging webinar offers participants an unparalleled opportunity to delve into the experiences, challenges, and triumphs of young women who are carving their path to success in the tech industry. With technology playing an integral role in every facet of modern life, it's essential to address the gender gap and empower young women to seize the limitless possibilities that the tech world offers. Breaking into the tech industry isn't without its hurdles. During the webinar, our speakers will candidly discuss the challenges they faced, whether it's stereotype bias, imposter syndrome, or gender-based barriers. More importantly, they'll share insights on how they overcame these obstacles, providing valuable advice for aspiring young women in tech.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wednesday night once again, and we're back with the PITES Youth Digital Talk webinars. And today we've got ladies. Only ladies, actually. I'm the only gent today. So I'm surrounded by women. I'm surrounded by the greatest. Evening, ladies. Good evening.
Evening. Hi.
I love the sound of that. You know, when women speak, right? Especially in this Women's Month, as we bring it to a close, as you guys speak, I can hear, you know, the echoes of desire to strive and push through coming out of your voices.
There's Amandla vibes.
Amandla.
Yes.
It's actually not Amandla for women.
Yes.
That's the one. Ladies, good evening. I'd like to first welcome you guys to this evening's webinar. And I'd like to introduce you guys, but I won't do you any much justice if I do that by myself. You know, I'd be robbing you of your voices. So we'll start with Nyarai. Evening, Sisi. Please introduce yourself, tell us a bit about yourself, and tell us why you're here.
Hello, guys. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Nyarai Ananidziwe, and I'm a software engineer from Box Fusion. I'm so excited to be part of this. And it's Women's Month, mind you. What a time to be alive. Right? So I'm so excited to share with other women how I navigated the challenges in tech, how I am here where I am right now. I'm so excited to be part of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nyarai. Yes, Nyarai is from Box Fusion, guys, as you've heard her say. And funny enough, you're wearing a t-shirt that's written Women in Tech.
Hey, that's so amazing.
You forgot to send us our...
I wish I had one.
And we celebrate ourselves in tech.
you know, hashtag Women in Tech.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's move right along. Crestinah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
Very well, thank you. Just a bit about yourself. Why are you with us here?
Why am I here?
We've heard great things about you also. Also, being great starts with the fact that you're a woman, of course.
Yeah.
And
yes.
we are picking up Women's Month. So, yeah, you can take
it
over.
Hi, everyone. I'm also excited to be here. Actually, it's my first time being in a live show like this. So I'm very excited. And my name is Crestinah Mudau, and I'm actually a senior software engineer at the CSIR. So basically, why am I here? It's just to be able to share with all the young women the challenges and the journey that I had or that I have to take from studies to where I'm currently at right now, which is at the CSIR.
That's amazing. Yeah. CSIR. That's where she is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Afani, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you over there?
I'm very well, thank you. You are our in-house person. Guys, we see her every day, eh? Every day, this is what I see.
I'm
This is
becoming a
good. The
regular.
Pumela voice
We
on
see
a
her
day.
every day on a
Every
daily
day.
basis.
She's. How are you? Okay, actually, you were not at the office today, so we didn't see you. It's nice to see you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just a
yeah, that's
brief,
all. One of the nice thing about being in the tech space, you can work from home.
you know.
All right.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right,
I
guys. My name
actually hate
is
that one
Pumela.
on my notes because
Yeah, my name is
So,
Pumela. I'm a project manager here at Paita. And yeah, I'm here to share my little journey with you guys all. And I hope to inspire other young women out there. Thank you,
okay.
Dalu.
Thank you, Pumela. And
Thank you.
funny enough, ladies, there's actually a chain that links all three of you. I'm not sure
Okay.
if Crestinah, you are aware of it. Nyara, you are aware of it. But
No,
there's a
I'm
chain
surprised.
that
I really want to hear it.
Yes.
me
okay,
too.
we'll get there.
I'm curious.
There's a point that I'm trying to make, but we'll eventually get there.
There's a link.
Yeah, there's a link somewhere,
There's a link.
Over to you, Ash. You can first introduce yourself
Good
as
evening,
well.
ladies. Thank you so much for joining us. Crestinah Mudau. It's not my first time hearing about Crestinah because Pumela has
I'm
said a lot
famous.
about you since last year. So I've known you since last year. Christina that
Nice.
for Christina. So I've heard lots of good stuff about you. Good evening, all. Thank you so much for coming. I am Asive. I'm a software junior developer here at Pita. I'm such honored and happy to be here to share the live stream with you, ladies. I'm such honored. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For
Thank
All
having
right,
you.
us.
ladies. Yes. All right. Let's get into it. The time now is 1922. We already are behind. So I'll start with Nyarai, right? So Nyarai, we need to engage. We need to get to know each other. So could you please
Before we can continue, Asive, sorry to
yeah.
interrupt you. Okay, I know this is your show, guys, but we don't know the gentleman besides you.
Yes. It's not
How do
in the
you not
name.
know me? Okay.
Okay.
Pardon my manners. It's Women's Month, guys. I figured that if you guys, the most important thing right now is for you guys to know each other and leave me aside. That's why I didn't even. You know. But anyway, my name is Dalukolo Maau. Yeah, Nyarai and Christina, you guys don't know me, but the other two ladies know me. I'm an intern at Paita. I did cost and management accounting in varsity, so I've moved to IT now. So yeah, at Paita, I'm in touch with development. Me and development are like tongue and saliva. So that's what I'm busy with. So Pumela wanted you guys to know me and meet me. So this is me. Um, we are a bit behind in terms of time. So we just need to, Nyarai has another meeting, and I believe Crestinah, if you don't have a meeting, you have dinner to prepare, and the viewers at home. So you, Asibe.
Thank you, Mister. I just remembered that there's another link here. We are all developers.
Another
Another link,
link. You
yes.
see?
We are
Wow.
Oh,
oh,
apart from
awesome.
Pumela.
Apart from our project manager.
But it's still links because at the end of the day, we could actually become a
Hi,
great
but
team.
Christina made me do some developments there for a
Yes.
while.
Hierarchy.
You know,
It's a
you
nice
know,
So there is a link
hierarchy.
yeah, and it's safe to
Yes.
say
in a
that we can create a
nutshell.
website.
Like she
And
knows
it's
the
safe to,
basics, so it's not
yeah,
bad.
you know, we can actually make a great team.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for that good introduction. The time now is 19:24. So now I'll start with Unyarai. Nyarai, can you please share your personal journey of entering the tech industry as a young woman? What inspired you to pursue a career in this field, in the tech field?
Okay, I'll start from when I enrolled for information systems at the University of Fort Hare. Initially, honestly, I
Yeah.
didn't want that course. I wanted to do
Oh,
accounting. Unfortunately,
oh,
they said I have to do information systems. So I was like, okay, it's fine.
okay.
But the other thing, it was that my friends were also doing accounting. I tried, I went back and forth wanting to do accounting, and they said, no, you are in the right place wherever you are. Okay. And in my second year, honestly, coding was something else. And when you have been an A student, you just tell yourself, you know what, I got this, I can do
Yeah.
it.
Mm.
So in my final year, I then, starting to see other people who are doing coding, starting to see these code camps, things like girl code
Yeah.
and stuff. And I'm inspired, like, girls can do it and
Yeah, it's
stuff.
inspiring.
And then by that time, I wanted to be a systems analyst. I finished my final year saying, I want to be a systems analyst. And I also do have my mentor. And just like, you know what, Nyari, you can code, you can write code, you can do this. Why are you giving up now?
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, I can do it. So that's when initially we saw the competition, the Box Fusion competition, and I collaborated with my other peers, and we had to come up with a system. And the funny thing is that
Mm.
um, I had done a competition. I know at Fort Hare they had that competition for entrepreneurship, and I had thought of creating a system. And I will tell you this: that system was that one. It would beg everything during that time, given
Okay.
that it was during the time of COVID and stuff. So
Mm.
Yeah.
we then I came up with that idea, and we had to develop that system. And we had to develop it under pressure because now we are submitting our final year project. We also had to submit that system for end of year, and we submitted it to Box Fusion. And in January, that's when they called us. Oh, you guys have won the competition. You're the leaders of the competition.
Oh,
So it means we want you for an internship, something like that. And we're like, okay. And that's how we went for an internship. That's how we joined Box Fusion. That's how I landed in Box Fusion, right? And am I gonna state
Mm.
the
okay.
challenges and everything as I go?
No, 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 no,
No,
no.
no, 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 no. You don't have to. Not now.
Oh, okay, it's fine. That's
All
how I
right.
landed in Box
No,
Fusion and till now. Yeah.
that's
That's
fine.
awesome. That's awesome.
I think it's safe to say that Nyarai, you didn't choose IT. IT chose you
Yeah,
because you were
it
running to
chose
Yeah,
accounting
you.
and
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
kept
yeah,
being.
yeah.
And you got inspired along the way. Something that you never thought that you could be inspired by IT. So
Yeah.
basically, it chose
And
you.
But why is it that most people that really love accounting tend to end up in IT? I mean, look at you, look at Pumela, look at me.
Just like you.
You know, we all have similar stories.
yeah. Oh, so
Quite strange.
the thing is, I think, I also think that I don't want to talk on the side of accounting because then I last did accounting in my high school. But also on the
Mm,
side of IT, I think that it comes with some sort of creativity. I mean, you
that's
can
true.
you can go
That's
out
true.
of bounds. You're not limited by
Yeah.
standards. You're not limited by anything. You can go out of
Mm.
bounds. Your
And
creativity
that's
can
all.
create anything. Like
And
you can do anything. So I think
That's
that's so exciting. And you'll find out that maybe if you're coming from accounting and you want to do IT, it might be like an interesting jump. Yeah.
yeah.
no, that's true. That's true. Pumela, over to you now. I'm coming for you. When you first got into the tech space, you know, I know that you did information systems, but what were your expectations when you first got into the space? And what was the one thing that you were looking forward to?
Wow. As a person also that had a background of accounting, I went as far as did first year in accounting. I
Hmm.
didn't know anything about IT or information system at that point in time,
Hmm.
but by default, I saw myself here because um, I was sent to do foundation here in Alice, right? So when you
Yeah.
come to East London for second year, you
Yeah.
Hmm.
have had to pass everything, and then
Yeah.
unfortunately, I failed. I failed
Hmm.
financial management, and they say that there's no way that you're coming to East London. And you know the peer pressure when everyone is coming to East London in your class. And
You
then I
want to
had
be
a
part of
choice.
that.
It's either yes, imagine staying in Alice for 2 years in rural areas,
Hmm.
and I've never stayed in rural areas. I grew up in the city, so yeah. And then it was either staying in Alice or
Coming to East London.
come to East London economics.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I was like, I let me try IT. Let me try IS because Vela in the first year I passed the what's that module that we're doing first year kanjanyara.
It's computer literacy. Is it computer what? Something like that.
Yeah, that's and some of my peers were rejected because they failed that, and then I
Hmm.
passed that. And then that's how I saw myself in IT. I literally had no expectations and whatsoever when I did IT. I was credited to do second year. Imagine you did first year. I did 2 years accounting because it was foundation and first year. Now I'm coming to IT. Hi, not knowing
Now,
anything. Ah,
but now,
so mm,
sorry to interject, when it came to you in the workspace now,
yeah.
in terms of expectations and how did you align them to the reality, you know?
Of course, my
And
one of my biggest mm,
I was just going to say that, when you get that call to say that, okay, fine, you got the job or you got the internship,
mm,
when you walk into that building, there is expectations, even from the
Yeah.
setup, the people that you're going to meet, there's a lot that you're expecting, and there's a lot that you're looking forward to. Do you know that even the night before, the struggle of sleeping, because you're busy contemplating, you're like, is the outfit correct? Am I not too much? Am I not too formal? Not knowing that you're going to meet us in our hoodies.
yeah. One of my expectations when I first came here was learning, continuous learning, because because I had no experience, I had no confidence in me. I had zero confidence. So my expectations were I have to learn. I have to
Yeah.
learn. And here I am meeting my expectations. I have been learning as an intern. I have been learning new technologies. I have been learning new strategies. I have been learning new courses. Even when I went to be an intern at CSIR, when Crestinah was my mentor, she also gave me courses to learn. So that was my biggest expectation: learning. I have to
So,
learn so
so
that I can be
just
able
to,
to fit. Yes.
mm, just to quickly clarify
So yeah,
something, yeah, right?
I've met my expectations, and I'm still
Sorry,
learning even
Yes.
today.
sorry to interject, Pumela. Nyarai, just to clarify something, right? So
Mhm.
Pumela did an internship with
Mm,
Paita, of which Paita then
mm.
sent her to do another internship, which was virtual with CSIR. So this
Yeah.
is where the link comes in. Christina
Yeah.
was Pumela's mentor at CSIR.
Oh,
You
nice.
see, Yeah.
Yeah.
So she applied for one internship but got two. The internships were on special that time when she applied.
I was a lucky one.
Paita was running a special. Yeah, Paita was running a special. I'm kidding. So yeah, that's how it worked. Paita, when she
Yeah.
got into Paita, she was able to link to CSIR and also get an
Yeah.
internship with CSIR. So yeah, she got the industry exposure from CSIR.
So all these tools that she's just mentioned, she learned from CSIR, from Crestinah, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the
You guys
learning
are
took
overpraising me, please.
She was crying. Crestinah, she was crying, literally crying, because Crestinah,
when they did.
The codes were not running. I said, Asibe, the codes are not running.
that's Crestinah for you. All right, Crestinah, I'm coming for you. Our senior
Yes.
software engineer, senior
Keyword.
software engineer. Senior is the keyword, ladies. Senior is the keyword.
I'm
So,
still very
Crestinah,
young, guys.
Can you please highlight a specific moment that has been very impactful in your journey in the tech industry? Senior journey. So now can you please highlight a specific moment that has been very impactful in your journey?
In my case, I have a lot, so I'm trying to pick one. So
I
in my
understand.
case, I would say immediately when I finished with my master's, which was sponsored by CSIR as well, I had
Yeah.
to join a project, and that project was more of a hands-on project. So it was just to give a background. I actually studied electrical electronic engineering, both for undergrad and masters as well. Yes, which was not
Okay.
IT or anything has to
No,
do with
no.
software, just basics of the software. So it was not anything to do with software. So I
Mm-mm.
was actually more of a hands-on person. So I did the project that I was part of within the CSIR. So it was just my first project that I was working on, and we had to develop a handheld fingerprint scanning device. So on my side, I was
Okay.
actually focusing on the hardware part. So I was focusing on the designing of the hardware, designing of
Oh,
the circuits for the scanner and everything. And I think
yeah.
then I got to what actually was the turning point was me getting to learn the connection between the hardware and the software, how the two actually combine, having to work with them together. And that's how I started learning the software part of the software engineering per se, which includes your back end and front end software development. So that's how in my case I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Actually, I do have the experience for the hands-on hardware and everything, and it's interesting, it's fine, I like it. But if I can be able to learn the software, then I could have both capabilities to be able to build something from scratch. Could be hardware or it could be software.
Mm.
That's
Yes.
awesome. That's awesome
Uh,
because you mentioned that you didn't study IT.
mhm.
Rather, after
Mm-mm.
that, you went into technical support. Imagine you went straight into
Yes.
technical support to do hardware, and now you
Yes.
got inspired and very interested that you want to know the link between the two, the software and the
Yes.
hardware. So amazing.
Christina, me, there's something that I'm trying to figure out, right? Obviously, I have mentioned that you didn't do IT, and I also didn't do IT.
Mm,
I mean, navigating and finding your way around the tech space, in IT, it's not easy, As much as it's
True.
fun,
True.
seeing come to life, seeing the code run and producing an interactive website and all that, it has its own
Yeah.
challenges, you know. So what was your strategy coming to overcome certain challenges? And you know how demotivating it is when you've got a
Too
code that
much.
hasn't for a few
mm,
hours.
mm, 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 mm,
So
mm.
what were your own strategies in terms of overcoming such?
To be honest, I think also that's one thing I rubbed off on Pumela. I'm not gonna put her on spot, but that's one thing I used to always tell her every time, you always need to learn. I think that's
Yeah.
one thing that I got used to, that in a sense that even though in as much as I'm put in a different group to say, okay, you learning, or it's probably, let's say, okay, it's a software development type of group. What I always go in there telling myself, it's I don't know everything. There's somebody who
Yeah.
knows better than me. There's somebody who, who has more experience than me. So I go in that perspective to say I need to humble myself and learn as much as I can from those people who actually have more experience and who actually know more than I do. And that's how you get to learn and get to like, oh, okay, I can actually do this. I can actually do that. And I think also in a sense that, because sometimes we find people that are actually would struggle without actually asking for assistance or for help. And I don't think that's a good way if you want to grow in any space, actually. If you want to go in space, you need to be willing to ask for assistance if you can't do something. And that's what enables us to be able to actually solve the problems that we actually get in projects.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
That's something.
learning is the key.
Yeah.
Learning is the
Yeah,
key.
and research,
That's true.
research,
That's true.
Yes,
research as
yes,
well.
and research,
So,
yes.
so Crestinah, one, you studied electronics, right? Then from there you went to technical support, your hardware. Then from there you went to software. Just just
Yes.
just imagining that. So how hard or how difficult was it for you to transition? That is, now you are positioning yourself for this role, from that role to another role. So how hard was it for you transitioning from all these roles, from point A to point B, from knowing the technical side,
Yes,
and now from getting into software,
yes,
because coding can give you a headache.
yes.
So how hard was it for
Too
you to
much.
transition?
I like
It
the
was a
honesty.
bit difficult, to be honest. I remember from having finished my master's to having to be working every day. In as much as I was still under CSIR and the project that I was doing for my master's was under CSIR, but having to then fully wake up every morning, going to work, and having to have a certain something that you report to. You say, okay, now I'm done with this. What do I need to do? It was it was not easy. And the difficulty of now you need to learn something. Now you need to have certain time. You need to also be able to set your time apart to say, okay, now I want to learn this thing. Probably let's say I have a circuit. It's also not working. It's the same as a software. Let me put it that way. I have a circuit. I've built it, but it's not doing what it's supposed to do. In that case, it's back to having to putting time to making sure that you are able to solve. If you need assistance, I would ask assistance to anyone in CSR would probably know me in our department, because I would go to them and say, I need assistance with this. I don't know how to do this. Can you please assist? And it in another way, it allows you to learn and allow you to transition to certain things to say, okay, I know I can't do this. And as much as it's difficult, but there are people
Yeah,
around. I think that's one thing that
exactly.
probably we lack in the workspace, that there are a lot of people that can actually assist. There are people that are willing to assist somebody. In as much as sometimes you don't even ask and they see you struggling, they're like, oh, you can ask who, and they can assist you. So the transitioning itself, it was not very easy, because now it was having to get to the transition of workspace, now getting to learn on this adventure that I'm going on in terms of electronic wise, and then also trying to learn the software part of it. So it was not as easy, but I would advise to say dedication. If you're dedicated and you know what you want, there's nothing that can stop you from reaching that. It's just
I'm
our
inspired.
fears
Power
that
to
we have, that I can't do this, and then you're like, you reserve yourself. So yeah.
I
It's
am
about
inspired because
determination and knowing what you want.
I'm inspired, Crestinah, because Paita is like trades. You come here as an accountant, and now you're a developer. You come here as a CNET. The next minute
development.
you're a developer. So the transitioning really is not easy.
Mm,
But then dedication, through hard work, learning,
yes,
dedication, you can make
yes,
it. So I'm inspired, and I hope everyone
yes.
that is hosting this live now is inspired as I am. Lucky enough for me, I did development and I went straight to development. So what I'm doing is what I love. I chose it.
You are the chosen
So you,
one.
Yes.
unlike us, it chose us.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice.
No, I had a choice. All right.
Okay, I think we should go to the next question.
Your question. Okay. So I think now we can maybe let's take Crestinah.
Can you hear us?
No, I can hear you perfectly.
Oh,
Can you guys
okay.
hear me?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Nyarai, can you hear us? Are we still audible?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Oh, awesome.
You can see that someone is hearing you by when they are nodding like this, that no, this person is listening.
The network can be tricky.
Yeah, ish. Okay, Nyarai, as I'm coming for you now, right? So as gender diversity is very important, or rather is an important topic in the industry, gender diversity. So have you encountered maybe any instances of gender related challenges? Because you're a female, and how have you tackled them? If yes, or if maybe you have encountered any instances, how have you tackled them? Because that women in IT, there's just that's just something that's so wow, because there are few women in IT. So have you encountered any gender related instances, and how have you as Anyarai tackled them?
Okay, in terms of gender related circumstances within the industry, when I started working, okay, there were few female developers and more male developers. I have never faced a fight because of gender, but it was more of self-esteem fight. It was from within to say, no, man, this industry is for males. So am I really gonna make it? You understand? And after the training, when we had to go to teams and start working on client projects, I still remember the team that I went into and the team that I'm still under. There are about 10 males, and I'm the only female developer there. So I've never faced such a thing, Okuti, like like you're inferior. They have never made me feel so. That's one thing. And at the same time, I had never felt like I don't have a seat on the table. I have always told myself that I have a seat. I'm
Yes.
here. That's why I am here. I have a seat here. I do my
Yes.
work time. I've always told myself that the same capability that the males have is the same capability that I do have. I've always told myself that. But
Awesome.
also previously, before I had joined the team, you would hear stories like, oh, the females who used to come to this team, they would run away, they would change career path, now they are business analysts, they're systems analysts, they have left. And I'm so glad that now it's more than a year down the line and I'm still standing strong. So I have never places or being viewed inferior by the male counterparts. But all I know is that we usually fight as females, it's more of an internal battle other than like males fighting us. Because I still remember I usually attend there's these hackathons, the ones for females and stuff. And I have realized that like the spirit is within us that, oh, maybe this thing I cannot do it. But all I can say is that to all females who are trying to pursue careers in tech and stuff, once you're at the table, you are there for a reason. And once you're at the table, you have a seat, which means your capability is noticed. As long as you can do your work, anything that the opposite gender can do, you can still do it. And once you're at the table, you have a voice at the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can go ahead.
Actually, what I was just about to say is, when it comes to women in these disciplines like your tech and everything, you guys are not only part of the table, you guys are not only having a seat on the table, you guys are the table now. Because if you look at if you look at some of the great people in these big disciplines now, it's women. Women are taking over. The days of men creating certain spaces are gone. You go to the most simplest places now. You go to the taxi rank and you find women there.
It's amazing.
So things have
Yeah,
taken a different turn.
Yeah.
So you guys
Yeah,
are the table.
the better
We
that
are
we
the
usually
future.
find
Yeah.
as females, it's from within. It's from within. Just a feeling that okay, this is male dominated, so I
But
shouldn't.
you know what, Mira?
Another
You know what?
thing,
From my own perspective,
yeah,
I think it's justified. Because just imagine you walk into a room where it's 90% it's men.
yeah,
And you part of the 2-3 women that are there, and you kind of feel the expectation that comes with that, the pressure that comes with that. So feeling some type of way and feeling self-doubt is quite normal. The only key
yeah,
is resilience.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Resilience is the key.
So
Because there's this theory that people are normalizing, and it's so wrong, that maybe hard stuff is for males, that is coding and programming is for males. That's just not it.
but those days are gone.
Those days are gone. And to be honest with you, that's what makes us strong and want to push through the industry.
Yeah, and the funny part is, even me on this show now, I feel like, I should just go under the table because you guys
We
are
are a
talking
small
these
thing.
big things, that you guys have done and that you guys are
no
doing.
ways.
We are the future.
I just feel like ducking some type of, just, excusing
We are
myself.
all now in the table. We are within.
Yeah, those days are gone, guys.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
I think this is the best time to be alive, where there's equality and there's equal opportunities,
Yeah.
despite your gender and all those things. I think this is the
Yeah.
best to be alive. And I
yeah,
mean, men competing alone is not enough competition. I must say, women actually have good leadership qualities.
Yeah.
That's why you find
yeah.
out that traditionally they will say the man is the head, the woman is the neck, but the head is useless without the neck.
Yes.
So
Aye, that's
women
good.
have great leadership qualities.
Let's not get there.
That's good hearing from a man.
Let's not dive into the topic.
For instance, Pumela,
You
our
won't
female
finish.
leader here. Our female leader here, Pumela. Without her, we are nothing. Because she is our female leader. So without a her, we're just nothing. We can't cope without her.
It's even worse if you were to have a male project manager.
Imagine.
I'm sure it would be very stressful. Because number one, we take things for granted. And if you need a report from me and you are a male project manager, I'll just say, Skawara, later. We'll see it later.
Later.
Don't worry about it. And you'll be like,
I hope you
okay.
are listening, Pamela.
And when it's women, they will sit on your neck. When they they said they wanted a 12. They wanted a 12, So that's great leadership qualities to have. Pumela, while we're at that, let's not talk about reports and everything for now. Let's talk about a project that you're proud of, that you've been part of in your tech career ever since you got into the tech profession or discipline. What's the one project that you're proud of? You were part of? Actually, she was part of the website.
I think Asibe knows that one.
Yeah, I just remember.
Even
But
even
you can
Mr.
go on.
President says every
You can go on and pop your own bubble.
yeah, I think everyone at Python knows that. Even Mr. President would say, that is your baby. That is your baby.
Yeah.
Even when reports are wanted, they would say that is your baby. So my project that talk about is P2DL, right? That is a learner portal that is being used by high school learners. When we first arrived at PITA as interns, we were given that project. We were five. We were groups of five. So we were given to develop that portal. So we had to start from scratch. We didn't know anything. We straight from varsity, from planning. We did the
Yeah.
planning and the continuous communications to the management, the approvals, the additions and stuff. So that's one project that I would say I'm very proud of because I started it from scratch up until the beginning. And all four of them, they have left. I'm the one that is maintaining that project even today. Yeah,
And
I'm
don't
very proud
forget
of
your
that
external
project because
projects,
it
please.
wakes and and we work with young people. So as much as I was practically or technically involved in the project, I also take the project out there to its end users. So I'm very close and dear to that project. Oh, which one? And also I was part of the national project, which is we all know the late Tata Oliver Tambo. So we had to develop a digital library
Like,
in his birth town, which is yeah. So I was part of that project. There were three of us that were selected from Paita. We developed that project as well, and we delivered that project. So yeah, and it's a national project. You can imagine. So even if you visit that site, you know that I was involved in that project.
Let's work.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And
yeah,
Christina, the
that's
very first
amazing.
time Christina met me said, pitch the projects that you are working on at Paita before I can involve you into anything. Take me through the stuff that you are working on at Paita so that I can be able to assist you. So yeah, she has always been there throughout.
That's amazing. That's
The
amazing. And
background.
yeah, you are the back end
Hey, Cristina. Yeah.
to her bootstrap. You are the back end to her running code.
Ish.
Um, and yeah, I mean, that's amazing, Pumela. And that brings us to the next question. I mean, Christina, you'd agree with me that mentorship is very crucial and it goes a long way, mentorship and support,
Very, yeah. Mm,
in
mm.
your own experience, I'm sure for you to get to a point where you can mentor Pumela for her to even get to the point where she is. Do you know that she's a mentor now?
I know, to 25 kids.
Just imagine your one
Imagine.
child is mentoring 25 other kids, So yeah, I'm sure you'd agree with
I
me that
know.
it's very important and crucial. I'm sure there's also been, for you, you've also had that. Can you just give us a brief insight
Yes.
on your own mentorship, how it went, and how it impacted your life in the tech space to this point?
I think in my journey, I've
Mm.
had more than one mentor. Some don't even know they're my mentors, but they are my mentors. Because I always go to them and ask, I need this, I need this. So it's, to be honest, mentoring, it's one thing that I never really took it as very important while I was in university. It was not something that I said, oh, I need to have a mentor and so forth. But once I
Mm.
got into the industry, it's important to have that one person, that not necessarily one person, you can have more than one person depending on what skills do they have, what is it that lures you to them to say this is my mentor. So in
Yeah.
my case, I when I started, I had a mentor. His name was Dick Satole. He was very one person way who would get me to work. At some point, at some point I was leaving work around 4 or 5, and it was like, no, we need to finish this. So you can leave at 6. So we need to finish it. So it was, I think for me, it was even more nicer because it was a person that I see every day and I was working with this person. So it was very
Mm.
interesting in a sense that how he pushed me to actually be where, to start, actually have that foundation. I remember I didn't know how to write emails when I started. I would literally write email 2 sentences and send it to him. Please approve. Is it right? This is how I'm supposed to
Yeah.
write it.
Mm.
And then he's like, oh, that's fine. And then I'm like, okay, then I'm able to say that's how I started, to a point where by now It's like, emails, they are, it's nothing. I can
Yeah.
even write it to client, even, bigger people that, it's easier. It has gotten easier. So having a mentor is a very important thing. And mentoring also, you get to learn, not necessarily that when you are mentoring, it's about you having to assist the person and so forth. You get to learn also from the individuals that you're actually mentoring. You get to learn their perspective. You get to advise them. You get to also see a different view. So it's a very, I would say it's a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. Because in as much as I'm mentoring, the person is learning, I'm also learning from the other person. Because, well, we're always
Yeah.
learning.
That's true.
Learning never ends. They
No.
might there is something that Pamela knew and I did not know. And in as much as she will be saying, you are the one who's mentoring me, and I'm like, you don't know. I'm also learning some few things, but you just don't know because I wouldn't
Yes,
mention them because
we
I'm the
learn
mentor.
everything.
Because I'm the
Yeah.
mentor. So I wouldn't
So
mention
why
them. So it's a
so
very
why we there so why we there on learning? Because we never stop learning really. So
true.
Nyarai, as a software engineer, we need to be updated every day. We need to learn every day. We need the new trends
Mm,
every day. It is growing rapidly,
yes.
the industry. So Nyarai, tell me, how do you ensure that you stay updated to our new technologies and trends? And how do you ensure that you keep learning continuously to stay up to date?
Okay, in terms of learning, I like the tech world because there are a lot of sources and there is always a way around learning every day. And I always
Mm.
say that in the tech world, it's either you adapt or you die. That's it. Because the train is moving. Like every day, the train is moving. You would find out that before we knew it, we had ChatGPT, right? Before you knew it, we've got low code platforms. People are no longer writing all those lines of code. They are low code platforms. It does much of the work for you. So you always have to find a way of keeping yourself ahead of time. You understand? So,
That's true.
uh,
Yeah.
one of the things that I do, one of the things that I do, I check out, I usually check out these upcoming trends. Like if you check out ChatGPT, Google Bard and stuff, what they are doing, you understand? That's where we are going.
Yeah.
And the first week of August, I still remember having this other conversation with this other data scientist, and she was telling me that it's unfortunate that this technology might not, like, they cannot replace our emotions as humans, but most of the stuff is gonna replace, right? So always find a way of keeping ahead of time. uh
Mm.
you see things like Google Bard, and I know that
Mm.
Microsoft theirs, um those things, I always make sure that I learn how they are working in the background, so that in case, because it's someone who is developing that thing, you should also know as a
Mm.
Yeah.
developer how to
Exactly.
develop such a
Exactly.
thing, how to develop such a technology, something like that, right? So always keep ahead of
That's
time,
very.
reading those, following those stuff. And also the other thing that
Yeah.
I find interesting, I'm usually inspired by Microsoft. I like Microsoft a lot. So other things, learn their best practices, their best code practices.
Mm.
Uh, it's good
Yeah.
to know how to write code. I'll always say it's good
That's
to know how to
awesome.
write,
Yeah.
but it's better to know how to write efficient code, you know, because
Yes.
all code that works is okay, but we also check for efficiency. So
That's
Efficiency
true.
of it. Yes.
yeah, checking out those, and also checking out those Microsoft certifications. For those who didn't know, I also usually recommend, if you check out on Microsoft website, they do have this thing where they lecture you, you attend 2 lectures, and they give you a free examination to write a certification. Do those things. I know
Ooh,
AWS has something
that's
like that
awesome.
also. Do those things, keep ahead of time, like learn
Yeah.
the upcoming technologies. I know it's good knowing how to write your baseline code, like it's good, it's so good, but also it's better to know how these platforms which are producing code now, to say somebody just gets a framework and in 2 minutes they already have the whole system, to know how they did it in
Imagine.
the background. Yeah. So
That's very true.
that's part of what. And also, I encourage networking, guys. Now I have met Crestinah. Something they
Crestinah,
use.
Yes,
Crestinah.
and you must give me your numbers after
And
here.
and we share, and she
Yeah,
tells me,
yeah.
"Nyari,
Yeah,
you
right.
can
Just
do
a
this
quick one.
way."
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. Just a quick one.
The link.
I was actually coming to networking. That's what I was just about to talk about now. And now I can see that you already want me out of the space.
You read
You
our
know,
minds.
so I can just tidy it up. Actually, yeah, the link.
The link is Pumela, actually.
Pumela is the one that links
The
everybody
two of
here.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she knows Crestinah and she knows you, and we know her.
It's a hierarchy.
So you see, it's a link. So actually, that also speaks to the
Yeah.
importance of networking, and
Mm.
I do know that, especially even with boot camps, and these, what do they call them?
The going code.
Yeah, but what do they call the competitions? What do they call those competitions? I forgot the actual
Hackathons.
name. Hackathons, yeah,
Oh, hackathons.
yeah,
You
hackathons.
wanted the word
Yeah, I
hackathons.
wanted the word. It just, I'm not a woman,
It's
so
late.
it's
It's late.
understandable.
I understand it's late.
Yeah, and I'm not a woman. Women remember everything. Women are the best, so it's understandable. Yeah, I mean, they strive best when you have got a solid network and you don't only go for these hackathons and chill. You have to go there and you have to build a network and all that.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of you
Yes.
can say a few things about networking and give a bit of advice to somebody who's not really, good at it, but would like to get better at it. Somebody who hasn't been doing it, but from this sees the importance of it. So we'll go with Crestinah first.
All right. Networking is very important. One advice that I would give would be that networking, in as much as it's sort of like, okay, I will need to, let's say for instance now, Narai is here and I'm like, okay, now I need to network. I already know her now. It's more of, okay, it's I would advise in a sense of not having to just collect people's numbers or collect people's emails. It's a
Yeah.
two-way street in a sense
Yeah.
that in as much as let's say you not necessarily need anything at that moment, because it's not about needing something also, in as much as in the future you might need assistance, in the future you might be say, oh, there's someone that I know who does 1 2 3. That's where networking starts. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, I have this person's numbers and then you keep quiet and then you only communicate with them when you need something. That's not, I don't think that's a good way of networking. It's a two-way street in a sense that engage with those people, try to find out what do they do, try finding out what are they interested in, and then you don't
Yeah.
know something, probably somebody can tell you something where you're like, oh, there's somebody that actually wants to do something like this. For instance, I'll make an example. I was part of a panel, I think and in July, if I'm not mistaken, and I got to meet a doctor, and I know I have a mentee who wants to be a doctor, who is in grade 12, and she medicine is one of her first choices, and second choices was the IT space and computer science. So in that sense, even that networking is not meant for me, but the fact that it's still going to
Exactly.
assist somebody that I know to say, oh, okay, I have a mentee who wants to know more about medicine and get to know how
Yeah.
your space works. Can I bring her to your workspace? You can then entail her. I'm in that networking now. I'm acting as what? As a middle person. It's not for me,
Yeah.
but because there's somebody that I know that can benefit from that, from this person that I also know. So I think it's a two-way street to say, don't necessarily speak to a person or communicate with a person because you want something. You can be there. Maybe you don't know, you were put there to assist somebody else that you know. Yes.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true, Christina. Well said. Hey, I'm just afraid that you might end up saying everything and leave the other people with no words to
Yes.
say. They'll just be like, Christina did it all. Nyarai? would you say? Quick one. Networking, hackathons.
Okay. Uh, guys, in terms of, I really encourage networking, and which is
Yeah.
one of the reason which gives me energy to volunteer, even in terms of in those hackathons, mentoring, attending those hackathons, attending those IT meetings, seminars, because I want to network. You know, because you live in a world of people, and where there are people, and IT is being done by people, which means you also need
Mm,
people to know some of the things that are happening. You understand? So,
that's true.
as much as we have Google and stuff, uh, it might not be enough other than interacting with other people from somewhere, knowing how they do things, how they are doing things. You understand? Because
Yeah.
before you know, if you stick to what you know only, before you know it, you can't use it anymore. You see? So I
True.
really, really encourage networking. I really encourage even those who are in tech. I still remember when I went for the Girl Code event, uh, I was encouraging like some other students that I know that are interested in tech that it's not about like I don't know how to code. I don't really know much. Nobody knows it all. We are still being mentored at work. We are still being mentored every day. So nobody knows it all. But if you get into that place where there are other people who are writing code, where there are other people who are like who are in tech, you know, you don't lose hope. You linger to that hope that
Mm,
Yeah.
no, one
Yeah.
day. Being in a space
Yes.
of where
That's
you are
just
discussing
so
the
so
same
so
thing.
amazing.
Yeah. Being in a
Yeah.
space where you're
That's just
discussing
so
the same
amazing.
thing, where you're sharing the same view, it gives you hope for the future. It gives you hope other than when you're in your own space. You know,
that's
sometimes
true.
when the code doesn't work for 2 days and you are yet to meet a due date, you know, you it seems like you're gonna say, you know what, I'm just gonna quit. We have all reached that point,
It
I know.
gives a headache. It's a headache.
And hence networking, hence asking, not being shy to
Exactly,
ask, and
exactly.
humbling
Exactly.
yourself to be able to communicate with the people around who are in the space that you're in.
That's
Exactly,
true.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
Very
true.
true.
that's true.
You know,
All right,
there is
now,
this other thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, you can
no, you
finish
can
up.
just finish up.
Okay.
You
There
can
is this other
continue.
thing that
Yeah.
that my supervisor always says. He always says that I don't expect you to know everything. And when you are stuck on
Mm,
something for an hour, you have tried, and now you have tried by all means, ask someone. Like, ask someone.
Mm,
You don't have to
mm,
sit around with your
mm,
issues.
mm.
Ask someone quickly
mm,
and get help.
mm.
So that's how we grow. We
Yeah.
grow together.
No,
You
that,
don't grow alone. Like we grow together.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's so impactful. I think now we should take comments
yeah, just before we take comments, let's hear what Pumela has to say.
before
The
we close.
network
Okay.
connector. Pumela is the
Our
network
link.
connector.
Yes,
Yes, yes,
the
yes.
link.
Link, what do you have to say to us?
We are here
Networking.
today because of networking, right?
Mm,
I
Tell
went
me.
to school with Nyarai, and then I went to an internship with you two guys. And then the internship sent me to another internship to Crestinah. So that is networking right there. And yeah, guys,
all of
Yeah.
networking
it.
is very important. Yeah. When I
Mm,
discovered that now that I'm in IT, now that I'm
Yeah.
here, um I get discovered that at CSIR they said that there are a lot of projects that fail because of poor planning and project management. And then I said to myself, "Oh, okay. In this internship that I am, everyone is a developer. Everyone is developing. So let me just branch out into project management,
Swiftly.
right?" Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I in my final year, was it our final year in Yarai? We did a project management as a module.
Yeah, we
So I
did
did
a
not know
project.
much about project
Mm.
management. And then there came networking. And Christina was my mentor, right? I said, Christina, Do you know anyone that is a project manager at CSIR? He said, I will look. And then I persisted. Every time I said, Crestinah, don't forget. And she eventually got me someone to mentor me. So because
Mm.
I networked with Crestinah, because I knew Crestinah, then I got a project management mentor. So, and we're all here because of networking. So networking is very important. As Nyarai
Very.
said, as Crestinah said, you don't always know everything. You don't always know what to do,
Mhm.
when to do, more especially when you come out of varsity, you are filled with the theory and everything. Then you come into a professional space. You have to do the practicalities. You don't know anything. Networking is very important, guys.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So
Yeah, I think because of
yeah.
time constraints, we can be here till
So
tomorrow.
yo,
But because of time constraints, let's just move right to
this
the
is amazing.
comments. Asivo will read the comments for us.
We have so many comments because the topic was so amazing and impactful. I'll start with this Baba Nigel or Baba Nigel. I'm sure you know the person. My daughter Anna, I'm proud of you.
Shady.
Oh,
Load shedding.
Yes, and then we have a comment. I think that was the one made after Crestinah. The comment that says you didn't choose IT, it chose you. That is from Sisi Pomdaga. You also many comments from Aviwe, Kakrishe, here for Nyari, Apelele David, very inspired. We have MKM underscore TDE, networking full cycle. Yes, that's true. It's a full cycle of networking. So amazing. And then we have Apelele David. Women have historically been underrepresented in the field of information technology. The rising number of women in our days is in the field of IT excites me. True. As much as IT chose you guys, I am glad you are growing into the field. I was never a tech person too, but when you are getting familiar with technology, it is really interesting. Yeah,
That
that
is
is so
true.
true,
Mm.
Apilele. It's so true. Then we have Sinezen. Christina's journey to IT is very inspiring and motivating to others. That's true, Christina. But imagine
Mm.
from a law
From a non-IT
from a
perspective.
non-IT perspective to now
Yes.
being in IT in
Mm.
software. Imagine. Then we have another
And
one from
just to add,
oh,
just one more to add, like
yes.
I just want to add that learning it doesn't stop there. To be honest, like I feel like in the world that we are growing now, there's a lot of stuff. Like now, I think we all know that most things are focused on cybersecurity. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to
Yeah.
know about cybersecurity, and it's very interesting. And I feel like it's very an interesting topic, to be honest. I actually just also ventured into it also again just to know the
Really?
basics, because now
same
yeah,
here.
it's very interesting. It's very interesting that,
Yeah.
especially if you are in the software space, it's something that at the end of
Yeah.
the day you will have to go into, because in as much as we develop applications, websites, you need to know what are the
How to
vulnerabilities,
secure
how
them.
can they
Yeah.
Yeah,
easily be
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
hacked,
Mm.
how can you
Exactly.
security wise your mobile applications, when maybe let's say they are creating a mobile application that has to be taken
Mhm.
out, used within a regional area, or the government takes an application, they need to also look at, is it safe, can it be hacked, can somebody do anything to
Yeah.
it? So
Yeah.
it's those things that we tend to learn. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's very
I
true.
think it's also
Security.
another good space within IT. And
Mm.
also, you can look at the other thing that has been trending now, the issue of data science, because now with the use of data and stuff, because mind you, whenever they create robots, whenever they create this Chat GPT, this Google Bard, they're using
Mm.
things because they're just checking like how
Yes.
frequent, how efficient can this model, they're feeding it data so that it can give you back data.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Machine
Yes.
you
That's
learning.
true.
check, yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Machine learning is the thing.
Yeah, guys, with the new developments in technology, cybersecurity is the thing now. and data
It's the
science
in
is also,
thing. It's the in thing,
Yes,
to be honest.
you know,
I was like, I
yes,
also
yes.
want to be part
like,
of it.
you know,
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
anywhere, they speak in cybersecurity. And the sad part
They're
is, you know,
speaking.
the thing about cybersecurity is it's not limited to any discipline. It applies
It
to
doesn't
all
limit you.
professions, you know,
Yes.
whether you in the medical
Yes.
field, whether you're in logistics, whether
Exactly.
where you are, cybersecurity
Mm,
is a thing.
And that's just
I
it
mean,
IT.
is.
just imagine now they are
Very
hacking
true.
cars, you know. So if they hack a taxi there and all those things, you know, cybersecurity is going to grow bigger with time
We are in.
because we
Yeah.
definitely shift to a digital sphere now where everything is being digitalized. So there's need for security.
Yes. There's so many comments. I am so sorry. I cannot read all of them, but we have this one from, we did this one, Sisipo. I'm excited to be part of this webinar. As a young woman in a software development internship, I'm proof that the tech world is evolving. True. Let's embrace diversity, share experiences, and inspire each other to excel and create an inclusive future for women in tech. Hashtag women in tech. That's so awesome. This is just so
Yes.
inspirational. Marty or Tiltil, what a what a way to close off Women's Month. So inspiring. I feel motivated and ready to take on the world. We need these types of discussions in rural areas. This is true. We need to inspire rural
Yeah.
girls. This is true.
Mm.
We have
Very
Sanelisi Wembanga. Paita, what an interesting webinar. Yeah, this is so amazing. From
Do
Sine,
you want me to rest you and read?
please, please,
Yeah,
please, this
she's
is
getting
just too much.
tired. The
Whoa.
comments are too much. Then we've got Sine
Mhm.
saying this is the second time we are hearing positive feedback on the issues of gender disparities that we assume women would be subject to. Maybe we just maybe there's a positive shift within the
Yeah,
society with regards to women inclusion in such spaces, which is definitely true, guys. We're seeing
yeah.
women now in big things. There is no discipline where you don't find
Mm.
women now. You know, and I like the fact that modern men are more understanding. You know, we also you find us in the kitchen now as well. You know, so we're balancing the scale.
There should be a balance. Hey,
We're striking a
So
there should be
balance.
a balance.
so now,
Um,
I want to leave this takeaway to all females who want to be in tech and stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
that the real battle that you're gonna fight, it's from within, not from outside.
Yeah.
You're not gonna fight to the
That's
thank
Yes.
true.
outside.
you,
That's
thank
true.
you.
That's true.
It's
Mm.
from
Charity begins
within.
at home.
So
Exactly.
every day, whenever you think of your journey, just tell yourself that, you know what, I got this. You
You
know, I
can
got
do
this.
Yeah.
I
it.
can do
You
Mm,
True.
can do
mm.
it.
True.
so that you can surpass that fear that comes from within.
Mm.
Otherwise,
Yes.
That's true.
everyone can do
I
it.
think I think I
Determination
should give
there.
you guys. Yeah, I think I should give you guys another Women's Day somewhere in September.
We should.
Another
No, we
Women's
should.
Day, you know.
We should.
I'll give you guys 2 hours on that
This is
day
amazing.
because I can see
In
that there's
fact,
a lot of
all
issues
year
that you guys
round.
can. Yeah,
Yes.
and I can see that there's a lot of things that you guys would like to cover, but time is not doing you guys justice, and I feel bad. It feels like we're limiting you
And
guys,
there's a
you
lot.
know. And from the comments and the views and everything, you can see that people are engaging and they really want to hear more from you guys. So on the
People
next
need
one,
more.
yeah, on the next one, it will be an open platform where the questions will be read directly to anybody. If somebody is asking a question directing it to Nyarai, it will be so yeah, we'll
And we
work
have
something out.
and we have someone. I really enjoyed this webinar, and one day I will be part of you guys from Promi Kubala.
That
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah. Promi says one day she'll visit
that's what
us.
we
Promi,
want.
just tell us
That
what
Yes.
you
too.
do. Yeah, tell us what you do. If you're in the tech space, drop your send us a direct message. Then we'll
Yeah.
take it from there. And then we've got Sanelisi Wembanga saying, Paita, what an interesting webinar. Then we've got Maya and Nigel saying, hello, my daughter, Nyarai.
Nyari.
So proud of you, my young woman, is becoming
Oh,
a mom.
love you too,
Yes.
Mama.
I'm sure you know who that is.
Power twins.
Then
My
there's
mom.
Mikel saying, that's your mom.
That's a
No.
mom. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
Oh,
amazing.
So
For
sweet.
Jenny, Ma. So you brought the whole family along.
Hi, Ma.
No, I had to share this live on my page. So I think she got it
Oh,
there.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
No, that's
man.
great. Nice to meet you, Ma. Nyari has been good, and she even came with t-shirts.
Hey, so amazing.
Yeah, then we've got
All
Michael.
skills in tech, guys. We do
I
have
You
a
need to
know,
get
store.
one.
We
Please,
are
We do
taking
have a
up
store
the
called
please get
Bright
us one when you
Store.
come down.
no,
Please,
what we're going
I
to
will
do is we're going to share the t-shirts. We'll share the t-shirts.
I'll come fetch it where you are.
no, no.
please, and you choose. I'll give Mela the link. You can choose the code. You can write code here or whatever. You can
Oh,
choose the link, whatever that
nice.
you want. So yeah.
That's nice.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We've got Michael. Michael says, "Hello, cool friends from Turkey."
From
Michael is
Turkey.
coming from all the way from Turkey.
Nice.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
How
So
are
I think
you?
these are.
Hi,
Can we have
Michael.
the last one, please? So from Promise
Oh,
Again.
Promise again says I
Yes.
did mechanics, but now I'm very passionate about IT stuff. Yeah, I mean it's a field that you can
Cristina is a
delve
living
into.
testimony.
And I think she Promise relates
Another
to
person who
Christina.
I
Cristina,
chose.
yes.
You know, so Promise, don't shy away from IT. I think you should go for it. Sis. It's never too late.
It's written from me.
Mm.
Sorry, Promi,
Sorry,
but you are
Promise.
promising. Yeah, so guys, I think this brings us to the end of our webinar. It's been great.
What
You
an
know,
amazing webinar.
you guys
Thank you
have been
so much,
amazing.
ladies.
Yeah, you
And
guys
you,
have
sir.
been. Yeah, you're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for
Anytime.
having us. This was nice.
It was
Thank you,
amazing,
guys.
and you guys have been
Thank
great.
you for having us.
Also honored to be part of this.
Yeah,
You
tell
are
Thank you
mom
for
part
that
of
having
next
the
us.
time.
Mela. There's no
I'll
thank
see you
you for
in the
having
office.
us.
See you in the office, Pumela.
See you, you know.